Hey, this is Rebecca Westman, and you're listening to the Wedding Collective podcast. I'm a Canadian wedding photographer based on the border of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Hey, Lloydminster! Welcome to your local go-to podcast for all things wedding planning. I'll be sitting down with real-life couples and local wedding vendors, connecting you to the best of the best in the Lloydminster area. Plus, I'll be sharing my own experiences as a wedding photographer, offering insights and advice on what I've learned while working with my couples. So, whether you're sipping coffee with your wedding planning checklist or just daydreaming about your perfect day, this podcast is your new best friend. Stay tuned for inspiring conversations, valuable insights, and a whole lot of love. This is the Wedding Collective podcast. Let the wedding adventure begin. Hello, and welcome back to the Wedding Collective podcast, the ultimate guide for newly engaged couples in the Lloydminster area who are navigating the wonderful world of wedding planning. I'm your host, Rebecca, of Rebecca Westman Photography, your local wedding and elopement photographer, and I'm thrilled that you're here. Whether you're just starting to plan your big day or you're knee-deep in cake tastings and floral arrangements, this podcast is here to help you every step of the way. Today, I have another Wedding Planning 101 episode for you, all about finding the perfect venue. These episodes are short and sweet, and my goal is to help you smoothly navigate your wedding planning process. In episode 2, we talked all about budgeting for your wedding day. So once you've listened to that and have gone through that process, the next step is booking your venue and securing your date. Choosing the right venue sets the tone for your entire celebration, and there are so many factors to consider. So let's dive in with our first tip. Tip number 1, determining your wedding style and theme. Before you start touring venues, take some time to envision your dream wedding. Are you dreaming of a rustic barn wedding or an elegant ballroom affair or perhaps a mountaintop elopement? Understanding your wedding style and theme is really going to help you narrow down your venue options. Tip number 2, considering venue capacity and accessibility. Next, consider the size of your guest list and the accessibility of your chosen venue. Make sure the venue can comfortably accommodate all of your guests, and don't forget to consider any special needs or mobility issues. Tip number 3, exploring different venue locations and types. There are so many venue options to choose from. First of all, you need to figure out your general location. Are you planning to get married in your hometown, or do you want to find a venue in the city, or are you looking for a specific destination location like heading to the mountains? There are so many options out there depending on your location. Outdoor gardens, historic estates, beachfront resorts, golf courses, vineyards, cute little restaurants, or remote cabins. Take the time to explore different venue types and find one that works with your unique style, theme, and personality. Tip number 4, conducting site visits and asking the right questions. Once you've narrowed down your options, schedule site visits to tour each venue in person. This is your chance to ask important questions about pricing, availability, and venue policies. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification or request additional information to help you make informed decisions. Stay tuned for a freebie at the end of this episode for a list of questions that you can ask your potential venues before you book. Tip number 5, understanding venue contracts and policies. Before you sign on the dotted line, make sure you carefully review the venue contract and policies. Pay close attention to details like payment schedules, cancellation policies, and any restrictions or limitations that may apply. Tip number 6, factoring in amenities and services provided. Consider what amenities and services are included with your venue rental. Some venues may offer catering services, event planning assistance, or access to on-site accommodations for you and your guests. These additional perks can help streamline your wedding planning process and create a more seamless experience for everyone involved. Tip number 7, assessing parking and accommodation options. You guys, this is one that it seems small and insignificant, but it makes a huge difference not only for you, but for all of your guests. Don't forget to consider practical details like parking and accommodation options for your guests. Make sure there's ample parking available on site or nearby, and consider providing transportation for guests who may be traveling from out of town. Tip number 8, venue coordination and communication. Effective communication is key when working with your venue team. Make sure you establish clear lines of communication and keep your venue coordinator informed of any changes or special requests along the way. Tip number 9, backup plans for inclement weather or emergencies. Okay, it's your wedding day, and you know what? Mother Nature can be unpredictable, so it's important to have a backup plan in place for inclement weather or unexpected emergencies. Whether it's a tent rental for outdoor ceremonies or an indoor contingency plan, make sure you're prepared for whatever may come your way. Tip number 10, securing your venue with deposits and contracts. Finally, once you've found the venue of your dreams, it's time to secure your date with a deposit and signed contract. This will help ensure that your venue is reserved exclusively for your wedding day and give you peace of mind as you continue planning the rest of your celebration. And there you have it, friends, 10 essential tips to finding the perfect wedding venue. Remember, your wedding venue sets the stage for your entire celebration, so take your time, ask plenty of questions, and trust your instincts. Now, how about that freebie I promised? Check out the show notes for a link to download the most important questions to ask a wedding venue. You can print this file and fill it out when you speak with your venue coordinator. Also, check out my blog post that goes into a little more detail about choosing the perfect wedding venue. Last but not least, if you're looking for a wedding or elopement photographer, I would love to work with you. Feel free to visit my website and fill out my short contact form, or send me a message on Instagram. I'm based in Lloydminster, but I love to travel. I'll meet you in the mountains. All my links are in the show notes, so feel free to reach out and we'll see if we can make something work. Thanks for tuning in to the Wedding Collective podcast. Until next time, happy planning!